What's up YouTube, it's the Big Kahuna back again with another video. Now today we're going to talk about VR. And talk about, basically I'm going to be talking about VR and talk about how Sony's VR might not be as bad as some people are saying that it is. So first of all, let's get this out the way. Yes, we actually have and own a PlayStation. I can play it anytime I want. It's my son's PlayStation. He went out and purchased one, and he never plays it, so that's why I always use it to watch Blu-ray movies. As soon as I get back on the internet, though, I don't know. I'll probably play it, but I would prefer to get my own, and if I do, I'm going to get the Pro, of course. And then I'll be hitting up my boy Zenbloke. I plan on smacking the shit out of you online, Zenbloke. But anyway, let's get to the whole VR thing. So, first of all, this cost me absolutely nothing. I got this for free. Now, the actual price of this is $100. And the way it works is you use your phone and you stick it in the front, because this is just a case that comes off, and your phone actually generates the VR for the headset. Now, this looks kind of cheesy, and I think the way it's constructed and everything, $100 would be too much. That's just my personal opinion, because basically what you're just buying is a pair of 3D glasses. Basically, that's what you're buying. The actual VR is generated by the phone. So this, no, not so much. I don't think it's worth $100. In combination with the phone, however, it's pretty decent. But if you think about it, if you went out and you wanted to do VR with this and you didn't have the phone, and let's say you didn't get one of those specials, or we'll give you the phone for a penny if you sign up for 10,000 years or whatever. Let's say you bought the phone outright and then you went and bought this VR. You're pretty much buying a virtual reality helmet that goes with the phone, or that only operates with this phone and a couple other phones, for essentially almost probably like $800 or more. And now that's crazy. Now think about that versus the PlayStation VR headset, which is $400. Still, to me, that's expensive, but like I said, if you don't have this phone that I'm recording on now, and you don't have this headset, and you get them both at the same time with no deal, yeah, you're pretty much spending almost $1,000. Now, would that be worth it? Hell no, that wouldn't be worth it. Now, whereas I got this for free, and I also got my phone for free, it is way well worth it. But not everybody's going to get this for free, and not everybody's going to have the phone that I have. But if you have the phone, is it worth $100? Once again, you're still buying, to me, a pair of 3D goggles. That's what you're doing. So I still wouldn't want to purchase this thing for $100. Now, I've seen some headsets that you can use different types of phones with that aren't, made by Oculus, that are like $50 or $60. That may be worth a go, but then what are you getting? I haven't tried those, so I don't know. But let's get to the whole thing of the video. And real quick, VR is not something new. It's not something that Sony just invented or made up. It's not something that Oculus invented or made up. Virtual reality has been around way before this. Now it's just to the point where it's going to catch on or whatever. Maybe. But as y'all can see, plainly see, that I'm an older gentleman. And I used to work at a movie theater that owned an arcade. At least they called it an arcade. They had a ride where basically you sit in a little movie style theater where the seats moved to whatever they was playing on the screen. Then they had another, and of course all this stuff was expensive. Now, of course, they had another ride where it was like a hang glider, and you laid down on your stomach and you held the bar, and it actually did feel like you was flying on a hang glider. And the game was reminiscent of Nintendo 64's hang glider game. I can't remember the game, so don't kill me for it, but they had a hang glider game, and it looked something like that. And you had all kinds of objectives, like flying through these little loops and holes and stuff like that. And then they had another thing. It was the VR. Now, granted, my phone would destroy the VR from back then, because like I said, I was in my mid-20s. But the experience that you got there was a little different, because you actually was standing inside of something where you walked and you could turn left and walk, or turn around and walk, and so you had a 360 view of whatever it was that they were showing on the screen, which I couldn't even remember. I think it was some type of gun game or something. You actually had a gun, a plastic gun, and you would shoot at whatever it is that you were going up against. And once again, the graphics are nothing like the graphics that would be on my phone. So you know that the graphics wasn't, I would say, back then they were revolutionary, but by today's standards, it would be pretty horrible. So that is that. VR is not new. So when somebody claims that Sony made it or Oculus made it, wrong. This thing's been out for over 20 years. They just started coming back into it for some reason. But anyway, let's get to it anyway. So I already went over the whole, if you don't have the phone and you have to pay full price for the phone and this headset, it's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. However, if you get it for, like I did, free, it's well worth it. And you might even want to try it for $100. $100 ain't too steep, but I mean, like I said, you're still just paying for goggles. The real virtual reality is once you put the phone in. So anyway, some of the things that you can do on here are pretty neat, like watching movies. Of course, you can probably watch movies on the PlayStation 1 as well. And there's settings where they actually put you in a movie theater, and you can change these settings. And you can actually turn and see seats next to you, and turn and see seats next to you, and turn and see seats behind you, and look up and see the booth and how it's showing your video, your movie, or whatever it is on a movie screen. And you can change the settings to being on the moon and different other places as well. That's cool. Then of course they do have a friends list, and you can get into parties and stuff like that. I don't know how that works yet, because I only have 3 people. 2 of them happen to be on the Xbox with me as well, and on Facebook as well. That's how you run into these people, from Facebook. You can do your Facebook, you can do your surfing the web, and for those who are probably thinking it, yes, you can watch porn on it as well. So if you happen to be an older person, and you know, you can't just be watching porn in front of your kids, as long as you got them earbuds in and you got this thing on, you could be walking around, well, not walking around, but you could be sitting there watching porn and nobody will ever know. They have some nice games on here that put you in virtual worlds, and of course, like I said, you're looking behind you and you're looking above you and looking side to side. I haven't downloaded anything that was too complicated yet. Mainly just things where you're just sitting there, and like if you're on a roller coaster and you're going downhill and turning and stuff like that, you will sometimes find that your body is reacting to what you're seeing on the screen. So like for instance, I actually seen this turn and then seen the drop, and it was almost like a straight drop, and when I got to the drop, I actually was sitting and actually started going like this forward, leaning forward like I was actually going down the hill. So it does make you do things like that. So overall, this thing is pretty impressive. It does have like a little pad on here where you can do things like if you're in, there's one thing where you can go and see dolphins, sharks, snakes, underwater, octopi, and by the way, octopi is plural for octopus. But anyway, and you can see all these things, and you can swim by doing this and go up and go down. And you know, if you run into menus, you tap the click yes or whatever, or you just stare at it long enough with the little pinwheel and it'll go ahead and acknowledge whatever it is that you want to do. So there's buttons where you can back out by hitting buttons up here and stuff like that. But the experience would probably not be the same if you have the PlayStation and you actually have the wands, which people were calling dildos. And you know what people that was? The people was making fun of the whole VR thing. But as good as this experience has been and stuff I'm finding out every day about this, I can only imagine that the PlayStation version would have to be way better than this. We're talking about $400. And I think, you know, the VR hasn't been doing that well on the PlayStation because of the price point. Because literally this has outsold the VR from PlayStation. But we're talking about right now, you're getting this for $100, and in some cases you're getting it for free. So let me see, $400 versus $100. I don't have to buy any extra stuff, so I'm going to go for the $100 for free. But like I said, the experience is going to have to be much better on the PlayStation. It has to be much better because the experience on this has been pretty good, at least in my opinion. So I'm just going to say that the PlayStation headset is probably going to be pretty cool. But I also like to say this. I can't wait. And I know that the price point is probably going to hurt this as well. But this is really new technology when it comes out. When the HoloLens comes out, I really want to try that. You know, always watching these sci-fi movies where people are like grabbing things and moving things and walking around and seeing things right there on the wall where you can still see your house and everything. I can't wait to try that. But I just know the price is probably going to kill it. We'll see what happens. But also, this video has gone on long enough. In conclusion, whereas on the PlayStation you cannot see the outside world, you can only see what's being played on here. They do have a mode on this in your settings where you can view, I forgot what it's called, but I think it's called look or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But anyway, you can actually go into that setting and the camera faces on the outside, so you actually will be able to see what's going on the outside. You're not playing any games, but you see what's going on around you. So when you have people giving you the middle finger or acting stupid in front of you, you're looking at them and they're looking at you like, dang, it's almost like he knows what I'm doing. And then you look at him, you go, cause I know what you're doing, stop giving me the finger or stop acting stupid. So that is one cool feature right there, because if the person doesn't know, you have this headset on, you can be sitting there watching them all day and them not know that you're sitting there looking at them. Also, one more thing, I don't know about the PlayStation VR headset, but your phone does get very hot in this thing, and after playing it for maybe an hour or so, it will actually flash a message on screen saying that you need to, you know, disconnect your phone from the VR headset to cool down. But other than that, this has been a long video, and as I always say, fanboys don't love their favorite system, they just hate yours. VR, pretty cool, but I can't wait for that AR. Peace out.